Hi, this is Sally, and today is day 59 of my weight loss journey. Today is a Wednesday, and I have started on my 3-day detox, and I'm going to have a weekly 3-day detox. So I hope to carry it on for about 12 to 16 days. 12 to 15 days, but broken up into weekly segments. So normally for a detox, the minimum number of days is 3 days. So today went pretty well. I had a good night's sleep yesterday. I woke up feeling much happier, and then I started my coffee enema, right? So had my coffee enema, had my cleansing drink, my tissue building drink, which is Herbal Cleanse powder with honey gold water and spirulina. Then I had my breakfast, and I had organic homemade yogurt, bee pollen, flaxseed oil, and coconut oil. So that is the normal breakfast that I usually have. Had my exercise actually before my coffee enema, so I'm trying to get that down as a habit. So morning started off well. It's about 8 p.m. now, and so everything is on schedule. I'm only short of a health drink, which is my alternative to juices. You can check out my video alternatives to juices about how I make it. So I've only left one drink. I did my 2 coffee enemas today already. So everything is done very well on track. So the plan is to do the 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. However, I have a Friday appointment, so I would the Friday appointment is in the evening, so that's a dinner. Yeah, so I think this comes at a rather good time as well. As you know, globally the coronavirus is ravaging some countries. In Singapore, we still seem to have it under control. We have a huge increase, and most of them are actually the import cases, because we are bringing back our students and I think Singaporeans who have been posted overseas. So the large increase in the number of cases are mostly import cases from Singaporeans, permanent residents and long-term residents here. We have banned short-term visitors to Singapore because there were some visitors who came here to use our facilities, and I think some of them carried the coronavirus. So that was earlier on, and so to prevent that from happening and the dangers of community spread, because you are in the airplane with the rest of us, you come out of the airport, and then there is some mingling, right? And now we know that the coronavirus is airborne. So why did I bring that up in the first place? Oh yes, because of the whole coronavirus. Actually, my partner company New Life, we actually came out with a coronavirus remedy. Now, I need to say something about this, because there's lots of messages going about some natural healing remedies, etc., for the coronavirus. So as far as I can tell, there is no cure for it. So let me just choose my words, re-choose my words. It is not quite a remedy, but the program, we call it the program guidelines to fend against coronavirus, is to actually boost your immunity during this time. So what I'm doing, detoxification, actually the program that I'm doing, I always do New Life program. So what it does is it removes the toxins in my body and it puts in the essential nutrients. So basically it is to promote health. So because if my body comes into contact with the coronavirus, it has to focus on fighting the enemy. It doesn't have to, I don't want it to deal with all the toxins in my body. So part of it, of the detox program, is to actually also flush out existing toxins. And if I have come in contact with the coronavirus, because we don't know, right? We are asymptomatic, we may not even show symptoms, although we may carry it. This would regular detoxing during this time, right, would help. So yeah, and also because Singapore, we are also experiencing not really a lockdown, but it seems to be moving towards that. Now we do not allow gatherings of 10 people or more. I also, and because of that, I also work at a tuition center. That's one of my assignments. And so the tuition centers in Singapore are all supposed to be suspended, because we do not want students of different schools mingling one another, and so possibly carry the virus elsewhere. Yeah, so if you're in a school, and our school typically 1,000, 2,000, doesn't really matter, but then if a school gets it, it's one cluster, so we do not want the spread. And that's why tuition centers are suspended, because tuition centers have students from different various schools in Singapore coming together to study, right? So which means that I have more time on Saturday. Saturday is actually one of my busiest days, and Saturday is a time when I actually go to the center to work, and so I have more time to focus on my health and on my business, right? So and that's why it's also good time to do my detox, because it actually takes a fair bit of time, and it's also good that I am physically rested, and not rushing off for work or assignments during this time. Yes, so that's my elaboration on my plan. Actually, today I wanted to talk about this psychology on eat to live and live to eat, right? I used to always think that, isn't it sad if people just eat to live? Where's the joy in life if you just eat to live? That means you don't enjoy food, food is one of the delights in life, right? But I live in Asia and I live in Singapore, and we have a huge variety of food. It's great because we are multiracial, so multicultural. Yeah, so and the food here is cheap, right? We have hawker centers, we have restaurants, but we have a culture of food centers in Singapore. So eating out doesn't mean going to a restaurant. So eating out at a food center, which has different varieties of food from our different cultures, is just a fraction, like 10% of the price you would pay at a restaurant. So yeah, until when I did the detox, I realized that actually, I don't really need much food in order to survive, right? And I think about the POWs, the prisoners of war, and they were starved, right? And they didn't die, and they got really skinny, right? So we actually don't really need much food. I think this was brought really strongly to me because I'm on my detox, and we have a lot of drinks. So I feel full, although sometimes I'm emotionally not satisfied, but then I can go without the food, the solid food, right? And the whole idea actually is to have liquid food or diet as much as possible, or to have fruits, live foods, is because we want our digestive system to rest. The energies that would have been channeled into digestion is channeled into detoxifying and rebuilding the cells or in the body. So you can well imagine how much energy is used in our day-to-day digesting, right? So much so that when we actually stop the solid food, our body can intensely detoxify itself. So there's a lot of energy being used just on eating, right? And if you look at the amount of time that is used, so for example, if I were to drink juices, right, my body absorbs the nutrients within 6 minutes. If I were to take yogurt, is about 20 minutes. So how do I get, I am told the time. So if you want to verify, you can Google it and let me know if you get a different result, right? So my mentor told me the time. I trusted information. So I don't verify everything she tells me, but do let me know if you come up with a different number. So yeah, so 20 minutes for yogurt because it's already pre-digested. So the body doesn't spend, that's why during a detox you can actually have homemade organic yogurt, because it doesn't really affect the body's energy that much, and the body can still effectively detoxify. Fruits as well is life, you know, it doesn't take much time. However, if we were to eat like carbs, you know, and I'm talking about like white rice, white noodles, it takes about 2 hours, and I think meat might take up to 6 hours. So can you imagine your stomach churning and working and working and working like 3 times to 10 times the amount of time that you would have, you know, taken to just eat some fruits, drink some juices, or take your yogurt? Yeah, so if you think about how we used to be, you know, I think before life was so much better in the 20th and 21st century, assuming your ancestors weren't like, you know, royalty, you'll be farming, right? You probably not have that much meat to eat, right? And you probably be eating organic. So people, even just like in the 1950s, right? People weren't fat. And I think that's because of factory farming and fast food restaurants, right? So our body today, because of the wealth and abundance that we experience in the first world countries, we live to eat. And because now that I am trying to understand spiritual discipline and about fasting and all that, you know, I have this theory that in the past, where people wanted to draw closer to God, the reason why they fasted is because it takes too much time to prepare food, right? So they just eat the minimum that gets them through the day and spend the rest of the time with God, because that's the real spiritual food. So for the first time a couple of months ago, I met a really skinny young lady, and she says that, you know, she doesn't like to eat. She just eat to live, right? That's the bare minimum just in order to live. And I kind of understand now, from my position of live to eat, right? Life is about enjoyment. To now, I think my mentality is there are more important things to do in life. We shouldn't spend too much time thinking about food. However, I'm not saying that I just only eat to live. I still enjoy my food, right? But I think what has been brought very clearly to me during this weight loss journey is that actually I don't need much food in order to survive, right? I eat more for pleasure. Actually, I don't need it that much. And actually it's healthier for my body not to have it, right? If you know how the food system, you know, the factory farming and all that is like, the greed of man has corrupted the earth, right? So yeah, I think the middle ground would be good. We don't live to eat, and maybe neither do we eat to live, because that would take away the pleasure of life. But I think mindful eating, you know, the middle ground, mindful eating between pleasure and between health, and in consideration of also our discipline, rather than having our appetites tell us what we should do, we should decide what is the result that we want, and then work backwards from there, like what they say, begin with the end in mind, right? So anyway, this is my sharing for today, and I'll see you in the next video.